Ichi to magistrate, checkmate. Hey everyone, welcome to Prince of the Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Zatoichi and the Chess Expert. This is the next movie in our Zatoichi week, and hopefully better than the last. I really hated the last movie. I'm still not 100% sure, but it might be my least favorite. It's definitely amongst my least favorite in total, but I just did not like it. It was so boring, so disinteresting. It was poorly paced. It was bad. It wasn't even well written. And Ichi seemed very, off in terms of how he was portrayed. Even compared to other movies where he's been portrayed weird. But when you have a long lasting series like this, where you have, what is it, 26, 28 movies in total? Done over a fairly short period of time. Most of them done over a fairly short period of time, at least. It causes a lot of them to have to take these risks that don't always pay off. And I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that not all of these movies are going to work. Not everyone is going to be a hit. Not everyone's going to be as good as others. And some of them are going to be just plain bad. It's going to happen when you do something like this. It's not like you have years to plan with the writing, the casting, everything that goes into making a movie. You're making these pretty much back to back to back to back, constantly just pushing them out. And that's going to cause a very huge myriad of qualities amongst them. And so I'm not gonna hate on the people who made the directors, the writers, definitely not Shintaro Katsu, because I'm not entirely blaming them. I guess the only thing I can blame them for is really choosing to make and release these movies in this way. But because they did, it's just gonna happen like this. So it's something we just kind of gonna have to put up with. That being said, I'm hoping this next one is better. So Zatoichi and the Chess Expert. This sounds interesting because a lot of these titles center around Ichi's sword, him wandering, someone he's helping. But this one is about a chess expert. And yeah, the chess expert could be someone he's helping still, but my first thought of this is could this be just a more casual Zatoichi film? Where it's yeah, I'll probably have fighting, probably have, corrupt government and stuff like all of these typically do. But could it be something a little more down to earth? Because the thing is, we've seen Ichi engage in some, gambling and goofy stuff here and there. Just simple things. A lot of simple pleasures of life. We've seen him fish and whatnot. And so Ichi playing chess is entirely believable. I could completely buy into that. And the thing is, the title of this sounds very casual. It sounds like Ichi just has this interaction with this chess expert, and the conflict is more going to be playing against him than anything. I know it's probably not going to be that simple, but still. I also wonder, is this talking about chess as we here in America would know it, or is it talking about shogi? That's also something I'm wondering, because shogi is referred to a lot as chess in English translations of a lot of anime and stuff. It's wrongly referred to as such because it plays in a similar style. It's a strategic, mind-focused game like that. But at the same time, it's still a different game. and it still does play a bit differently. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's not actually chess, but a lot of anime and stuff has like wrongly translated because I guess they didn't think people in America would know what shogi is, which mind you is fair enough, but um so I'm wondering if it's talking about actual like chess, or if it's talking about shogi. Because I can tell you right now, I know chess to some degree. I'm not great at it, but I know it. I don't know shogi pretty much at all. I I think my only exposure to shogi has been through anime, and it's been very minor. I've never watched like an anime that like focused on it. I think the only anime I know that actively focuses on shogi is March Comes In Like a Lion, right? And that one I only watched to like a certain point, and then I stopped watching. Um, and from what I know, that focuses technically more on depression. Like that series is more about depression and mental health rather than actually about shogi. Um, but again, I never actively watched all of it. I've just heard people talk about it here and there, and I saw like a few episodes back when it first came out, and that's it. Um, but yeah, I've played chess. I was in a chess club in middle school, actually. Again, was never good at it, but still, I know how to play for the most part. There might be a rule or two I forget, but I generally speaking know how to play. So if if this is chess, I'll be able to at least follow along with it. If it's shogi, probably not. Unless they fully like explain the rules, but I really doubt that would happen. Um, I don't know what else to expect from this film. Like with how these movies go and with how like quote unquote episodic they are. I know that's not necessarily the right word here, but it's hard to kind of predict these films even from a title, because some of the titles have been very like off. Like it's like Zatoichi's flashing sword. It's like there are so many other things you could have named that movie. Why did you name it that? That wasn't the best representation of what that movie is about. Um, but yeah, you get the gist. So I guess just at this point, I'm surprised I've had this much to talk about. So let's just get into it and see what this movie has in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I was kind of right in the pre-thoughts when I was saying like from the title this sounds like it could be a more casual film. It kind of was. It definitely was more casual than a lot of these movies. There was no magistrate, there was no political shit going on. There was no like really heavy action. There was some action in it, but it wasn't like as heavy as other films have been, especially the last couple. But this movie was a lot more casual, though it did have a lot of plot lines going on. Because you have the brother and sister duo who are seeking revenge on their father's killer, who ends up being the chess expert. The chess expert himself also killing Rope, and Ichi seeking revenge for that because Rope was, not a bad person in the first place. Also, Rope, being killed because he was the only one who could acknowledge, who could notice that the chess expert was the one who killed the father. Then you have Miki and her mother, and them, like Miki getting accidentally injured, getting tetanus, but the treatment for that coming in, thanks to Ichi's help. We see how they and Ichi connect really strongly together. Ichi and her fall in love with each other, but he just can't accept settling down because of his past and his own hatred issues. Um, and of course, you have like the stuff going on with the people who are after them in the first place. It's just like you have a lot of storylines going on concurrently, but it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming. It never feels like you're just like lost as to what's going on. It did wrap up really quickly, I will give it that. But I never had like a huge issue with how it was being like paced out compared to like other movies we have reacted to in this series. Um, yeah, I felt the pacing was fine. It was definitely slower again because there wasn't a lot of action, but there was multiple chess matches, even if some of them were like mental chess matches. And again, it was like shogi typically, but there's a similarity there. It's close enough. There was multiple things of dice gambling and Ichi, you know, fucking with them because they're gonna take advantage of him. It's like, yeah, some really interesting, fun stuff. There's also like a couple moments of like really sudden comedy, like when he's fighting the dudes and he starts slapping his face. Like, what? That came out of nowhere and it was so ridiculously funny. Um, but yeah, this one was very casually entertaining. It brought back tropes of early Zatoichi films with, like I said, him having a love interest and it not working out. Was Otani a character in a previous one? He mentioned that he had that he was with someone, a girl named Otani, in the past, and that she had died. Um, was that someone from a previous movie? I'm not 100% certain on that. I don't remember the names usually. It's possible, or it's possible like this could even have been mentioned before. I don't know. Um, but it is really interesting. We also had like a cross dressing female character in this. And she was cross dressing specifically because the road could be dangerous for a woman and she wanted to remain safe. And I guess it's like the idea is like, oh, people would see her as like probably just a wandering samurai, not think too much of it, and not give her much of any trouble. They wouldn't like take a second glance and notice that she's a woman. Um, there's multiple occasions in like this time period and everything where women would do stuff like that. It is absolutely a safety thing, especially when you're traveling long distances. And despite what some people will say, there also were examples though of times where like women would like just kind of become men. Like trans people, I shouldn't say women become men. That's not how it works, but you know what I mean. You know what I meant. Where it's like men would like realize they were men is a better way to put it, I guess. because it's like trans people have always existed everywhere. There's so much documented evidence of that. And there's too many people out there who would like always just try to make excuses for it. It's just like with the anime Dororo or even Yamato in One Piece. People try to excuse it, saying like, "Oh, Dororo was only passing off as a guy in order to stay safe because of the political situation and everything." It's like, yeah, that was the original reason. That was stated. But Dororo, unquestionably, there is literally no question, no argument that can be made against this. Currently, in the main series of the anime, and I guess probably the manga, but I don't know how the original manga portrayed it. But either way, in the 2019 anime specifically, Dororo 100% unquestionably can't be argued against, identifies as a guy. And again, when the entire series is literally about brotherhood, I think it's pretty obvious what Dororo identifies as. And people just like to make arguments to like fight against it and like try to basically act like a trans person couldn't exist in this time and everything. And their main argument is just like completely contradicted by the actual series. So, and then with Yamato, it's like everyone argues like, "Oh, but Yamato is only pretending to be Odin. It's basically cosplay." It's like that doesn't even matter. A person's reason for identifying as whatever gender they identify as does not matter. If someone says that they identify as a certain gender, then they are that gender. If Yamato says he's a guy and he calls himself the son of Kaido, and everyone around him, both good and bad people, call him a guy, he's a guy. And people like to use like the Viver cards, the info cards that they make for the series. But the unfortunate problem with that is those have been proven many times to be untrustworthy, and have gotten just a lot of facts wrong on them. One of the notable ones is like that they call Yasui from the Wano arc. They say that he didn't eat a smile fruit, but the series directly states that he did. And it's like, yeah, the Viver cards can be wrong. And people just like try to use that as irrefutable proof when it's just not. But the point is, I didn't want to say much during the reaction about her because I wasn't sure like what was going on at first. But it did explain that she was just dressing that way to be able to stay safe. I didn't want to assume. Because my first thought when she first appeared is like, oh, a female samurai, which by the way, those did exist. There's some idiots out there who don't think they did, and like get pissy like when a game or an anime or something features a female samurai. It's like female women couldn't be samurais. It's like yes, they fucking could, and yes, they were. It's just like you're just stupid and wrong. um, so I was thinking that at first. But then I was like maybe thinking, oh, could it be a trans man? I doubt it, but could it be? And then it ended up revealing what the deal was. And it's like, oh, okay. Just cross dressing for safety. Okay. That's fine. I, I I don't mind that. I think it would have been cool for it to be a trans character, but that was almost not possible to happen. It really wasn't. A movie from this long ago and everything would not have done that. Not especially not a movie from Japan when it's like even in modern day they still have issues with that. Um but like other options could have come up too, and it's just like I just didn't know. until they explained it. Um, Atane was like so exceptionally in love with him, though. It's like biting his hand to leave a mark. And it's like you'll remember me even as long as that, just as long as that bite stays. It's like, damn, girl. I do like that he didn't admonish her for that. He understood why she did it, and he wishes he could have stayed with them because he admitted straight up that he liked them. Like he really grew close to Miki and everything, and it was very clear that he was close to her as well. It's like he really wished he could stay with them, but he has such a low opinion of himself, and just doesn't really see himself as being worthy of love. And I still say I really want him by the end of this series of films to find love and to actually have it stick because he deserves it. This movie was definitely better than the last one. Um, I would not say it's as good as the first one from this week, though. I would say that that was still like just really impressively good. But it is better than the last movie, yesterday's one. Which again, that it happens. These movies kind of just like go back and forth in quality because that's just how it's gonna go with a series like this, a film series that just puts out so much so quickly. And I'm fine with that. Because I know that when we do get a bad one, when we do get one that I don't like, it's going to be balanced out. Maybe not exactly right away, but it will be balanced out. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. I don't know exactly where I'd rank it at the moment. We'll have to wait to see on that. But by the end of the week, I might rank all of the films, like maybe in the last video. I might rank them all like with the other movies I've already seen. We'll see. In the meantime, though, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this movie? What did you think of Zatoichi and the Chess Expert? And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.